Okay, now how did you become a part of 300 and FGE? How'd you link up with Montana?
Oh man, well I call him Tony. You know what I mean? Like everybody, I say Montana because that's the reference people know him by. You know what I mean? But Tony, we've been friends ever since I was like 11 years old. It was like in sixth grade when I first met him, and we were just similar. Like he come from some of the same backgrounds. Into some of the same things. So when I met him was through school, and we just found different likenesses in each other. He actually was more close to my brother because they was both kind of like little hotheads doing a lot of the shit. I was more like a level-headed kid. I had a type of understanding early. So I was more level-headed, but I still was, still fit in his category of people. You know what I mean? Like type of person that he would like to hang with. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't be a square or a lame or something like that, and then he want to just be around you all day. You know what I mean, or something like that. Like we share different likenesses, and we had kind of got back in touch, like from just being kids. You don't really control what goes on with your parents, and moving and things like that. So we happened to move away or whatever, and we linked back up. We were like 14 maybe. I used to see him like periodically, over summer or like over certain summer times if he was still down in Peoria, like staying with his grandma or somebody, or his granddad, I should say. But one day, like I used to freestyle all the time. Like I said, I always been into music, so I really used to dance, like pop lock type of shit, and so that was really my thing, but I was, like I said, with that, it's music still, you know what I mean? So I was always into music, so I'd be at like parties, and when people like, I dance, but it'd be the crowd who got the rap circle, who over here rapping or whatever off the beat, and I always jump in. Sometimes I really couldn't help myself because I just love music, and I was always good. I always had a way with words, like English and literature was really my favorite subjects in school, so to write and read and understand words and what I'm saying, was always my thing. So, I was always good at rapping. And one day, I know Tony used to hear me rapping all the time. People playing beats on tables, I rap, what I mean, stuff like that. So one day he was like, "Oh, write a rap against me," And so we actually wrote like battle raps against each other, and they both was pretty hot. Even then, we was like 15 or 16 or something like that. And I just never stopped writing ever since, and neither did he. We kind of came to the conclusion that, okay, this what we want to do, And so me and Tony always been together. We always was really like a group. We didn't really have a name for ourselves. It was just like Talley in Montana, not really just like a group name. Until like 2009, we came out with a mixtape called 300, and that's when we started rapping with this other guy. His name Mickey. He's from Peoria also, but he's real good with like R&B and different music. Like he's good with what he's doing, writing music, and we just kind of had we just meshed together, all three of us, and eventually, he wanted to get out the group. It was other things that we had going on that I don't know if he just didn't want to associate himself with us at the time or whatever the case may be. And then it just was back again, me and Tony. So, so we just stuck with the 300 after that. It just even made it more strong because, only the strong survive, you know what I mean? And will, so we was the last two like it always been before, so we just stuck with it, put God over everything more so, he became really our third party, and so.
Now, in regards to Tony, what's the biggest advice he's given you at this point, or the most important thing you learned being around him as well? Either or.
Really, actually, the biggest thing I learned from Tony, like I'm real big on the Bible it really is not really about music. It's just about life, period. You know, like, you know, understanding, you know, who you dealing with in life. You know, like whether and this is a broad spectrum because it's really come from whether you dealing with fans when you make your music or people in business, you know. Like how we was talking about earlier with the, you know, the communication, you know, just knowing, you know, being opening your mind up to, you know, understanding more different things, you know, and how other people work, looking at things from other people's perspective, you know, in order to it really helped me do my job better, you know, knowing what someone might want to hear or what doesn't sound good, you know what I mean? Like those type of things, you know. Like he real smart. Like he actually he I learned a lot from him, you know what I mean? Cause he reads more than I do, you know, and he's into different things, you know. But you know, you know, we learn a lot from each other, you know. But that would be the biggest thing I'd say I picked up from him. You know, he prides himself on knowing how the mind works, how other humans may think or view things, you know, and not just, you know, in a sense of a group, but individually, all these 7 people may have different thought processes, you know. And he prides himself on thinking every way, trying to at least, you know, to understand every thought process, you know, what could possibly be thought of this one outcome or this one thing being presented, how would these 7 people take it in a different light, you know, and understand to be able to deliver it to where the majority can, you know, would get the picture or understand, you know. And so that's really like the biggest thing.